Hi, my name is Megan Lenskold, and today we'll be looking at our general agent in Claude, and we'll specifically be looking at an outline created for River Point Commerce Center from a real estate asset management perspective. So here's a high level of our River Point Commerce Center as of April 2026. So this was created with some initial documentation that we had. So the property is about 82% occupied, but there are three risks. So first, the largest tenant, Northbridge Advisory, expires in September 2026, and they may downsize, um, making it really a big revenue risk. Second, Peak Legal Group is also expiring at the end of this year with no renewal option and an outstanding balance, which again raises that vacancy risk. And then third, Bridge Path is dealing with some ongoing HVAC issues, which could impact renewal down the line. So operationally, recurring HVAC and roof problems suggest that there may need to be a shift from routine maintenance to, capital investment. One major caveat here is that the rent roll only covers about a third of the total square footage. So this analysis is based on incomplete data. So overall, the main themes are lease concentration risk, the near-term expirations, and growing capital needs. So after adding some new documents, we have a new summary. Um, and so the analysis really shifts from general risk identification to more precise evidence-based conclusions. So we'll be taking a look at what the new documents added as outlined by Claude. So we can head down to what the new documents added. So first, the Northridge risk is now quantified. So they're potentially downsizing by 3,000 to 4,000 square feet, and is allowing a clearer view of like the revenue impact here. Suite 220 is no longer a one-off issue. It's showing across multiple sources, whether it's complaints, open work orders, and broker feedback, meaning it's a renewal risk tied to the ongoing HVAC problems. The work order log adds some clarity on the execution. So we can now separate what's been resolved versus what's still open. And the key issues like HVAC, roof, and lighting are still outstanding and recurring. Then we look at the vacancy, and it's more grounded. There are actual prospects for the open suite, but the early stage and not ideal fits, which tempers expectations on lease up timing. And then lastly, the ownership expectations are clear. Capital planning and delinquency questions were already raised earlier, so the issue now isn't identifying them, it's more delivering those answers that were previously deferred. So overall, this step turns assumptions into some confirmed patterns and tightens the focus on execution and follow through. So our next step is applying the skill through this prompt right here. Now with the skill, we can see a few changes. So first, the deliverable shifts from the narrative response into like a formal documentation template. The content is reorganized, it's defined into sections and tables, which makes it more usable for stakeholders. Then there's a clear separation between facts and interpretation. So each time something comes up, it now distinguishes confirmed data like rent roll, work orders, broker input from inferred risks, which improves transparency. Then the briefing also moves from questions to execution. So instead of just listing follow-ups, there's now a prioritized action plan, and that includes owners, timing, and expected outcome. Now, the template gap is no longer passive. So missing information is assigned to specific owners, which creates some accountability. We're seeing some risks now quantified. So most notably the Northbridge contraction, which is translated into a defined revenue impact. So overall, this step doesn't change the story. It makes it structured, actionable, and decision ready. So now we've brought everything into co-work, and really the biggest shift that the story is becoming fully connected and grounded in real evidence. So we have our steps up here, and here are some things that changed. So we now understand the why. The ownership wants a clearer narrative than last quarter, and with a defined stance on capital needs, tenant risk, whether certain issues are being overstated, and that directly shapes the executive summary and priorities. So tenant risk becomes more concrete. And we have direct feedback from Suite 220, including concerns about unresolved issues and even leadership questioning whether to stay, plus a new HVAC related vibration issue that was not tracked before. So then the leasing story becomes more balanced, right? The new prospects introduce real upside, which the Northbridge contraction risk is confirmed, but still relationship positive. Capital needs are now quantified here with clear costs and timing of the roof, HVAC, and other projects. So the conversation still shifts from general risk to actual planning. Next, we have the execution. Execution is fully accountable. Every major item now has an owner and a timeline, and the risks are backed by both structured data and site photos. And overall, co-work turns this into a structured analysis and a complete evidence-based story that aligns with ownership and ready to act on.